students, in the previous lecture we discussed about law of conservation of angular momentum and its application and how we solve the numericals using law of conservation of angular momentum. Now we are going to discuss about the parallel axis theorem. It is used to explain the applications of moment of inertia for the different bodies. It states that the moment of inertia of a body about any axis is equal to the sum of its moment of inertia about a parallel axis passing through center of mass and product of its mass and square of perpendicular distance between the two parallel axes. To explain the parallel axis theorem or to use the parallel axis theorem, two axes should be parallel to each other. One axis is passing through the center of mass. Center of mass is nothing but it is the point through which at which whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated. For the symmetrical bodies, center of mass is lying at the geometrical center, as well as center of gravity which is lying at the geometrical center. But for the non-uniform bodies, center of mass is at a different points. Using statement of parallel axis theorem, we are getting IO is equal to IC plus MH square. IO is equal to IC plus MH square. To prove this, we are considering rigid body of mass capital M. We consider here rigid body of mass capital M, and we have to consider two parallel axes. One is passing through any point and one axis of rotation which is passing through center of mass, but both are perpendicular to the plane. Therefore, we consider here one axis of rotation which is passing through point O. Its moment of inertia is given by IO, and which is rotating like this. This is the direction of rotation of the body. And another axis of rotation which is passing through point center of mass, and it is perpendicular to the plane. Both axes of rotation which are perpendicular to the plane, the direction of rotation like this. We consider this point is given by C. C is nothing but it is the center of mass where whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated. Now we are considering its moment of inertia which is given by IC. Whole body whose mass is given by capital M, we consider the very small element of that body whose mass is given by dm. We consider here point P whose mass is given by dm. Now we have to join, or we have to make some construction to find out the equation. We join OP as well as CP and OC and draw perpendicular from point P on OC. If we extend this OC, then we draw the perpendicular. This angle is given by 90 degree. We consider this point is given by N. Distance OP is equal to R. CP is equal to R0. OC is equal to H and CN is equal to X. We are considering these distances. I write here OP is equal to R. CP is equal to R0. OC is equal to H and CN is equal to X. These are the distances we consider here. Now using the definition of moment of inertia, we are getting IO is equal to integration of IO. IO means this is the P point which is at a distance r from axis of rotation which is passing through point O. Therefore its moment of inertia is given by r square dm, and moment of inertia of IC which is equal to C point which is at a distance r0. Therefore we are getting integration of r0 square dm. We have these two moment of inertia using the definition of moment of inertia. Okay. Now from the figure we are getting two right angle triangles. First right angle triangle is ONP and second right angle triangle is CNP. Using both the right angle triangles, using Pythagoras, we are getting in the first right angle triangle we consider here CNP. In this right angle triangle we are getting CP square is equal to CN square plus NP square. This is our equation number 1. Cp square is equal to Cn square plus NP square. Similarly, in the second right angle triangle which is given by ONP, in which we are getting OP square is equal to ON square plus PN square, or we write here NP square. Okay, in which ON is equal to, ON is nothing but it is equal to OC plus CN. Therefore we are getting here OP square is equal to ON, ON is equal to OC plus CN bracket square plus NP square. Why we are getting this? ON is equal to OC plus CN from figure. We get this value. Then if we expand the bracketed term, this term, then we are getting here OP square is equal to OC square plus 2 OC into CN plus CN square plus NP square. Okay, we are getting by expanding the bracketed term OC plus CN square. This is equal to OC square plus 2OC into CN plus CN square, and this plus which is equal to NP square. In this equation, CN square plus NP square, this is nothing but from equation number 1 we are getting CP square. This is our equation number 2. Putting the value of equation number 1 in equation number 2, we are getting here OP square is equal to OC square plus 2OC into CN plus CN square plus NP square. This is nothing but CP square is equal to CN square plus NP square. Therefore, we are getting this value is equal to CP square. Now, we are multiplying this equation by dm, both the sides of the equation by dm, and integrating the equation. We are getting, we consider here equation number 3, multiplying this equation by dm and integrating both the sides of the equation. We are getting here integration of OP square dm is equal to integration of OC square dm plus integration of 2OC into Cn into dm plus integration of Cp square into dm. But we know that OP is equal to R, OC is equal to H, Cn is equal to X, and Cp is equal to R0. So putting all the values of the equations, then we are getting OP square dm, integration of OP square dm. OP is equal to R. Therefore, we are getting here R square dm is equal to integration of OC square dm. OC is equal to H. Therefore, we are getting here H square dm plus integration of 2 OC. OC is equal to H. Therefore, H into Cn. Cn is equal to X. X into dm plus integration of Cp square dm. Cp is equal to R0. Therefore, we are getting here integration of R0 square dm. Now, using this equation, we have to find out. In this equation, integration of R square dm, this is nothing but R, it is the distance of a point P from IO. Therefore, integration of R square dm, this gives us moment of inertia IO, and R0, integration of R0 square dm, this is R0, it is the distance of a point P from center of mass. Therefore, we are getting IC is equal to R0 square dm. Using this, we have to write the equation. Then we are getting this integration of R square dm. This is equal to IO is equal to integration of H square dm, where H, it is the constant term and dm, it is the very small mass, so that when we integrate dm, then we are getting the total mass. Therefore, constant term is out of the integration. Therefore, we are getting here H square into integration of dm plus here 2 integration of 2h into x dm, where 2h is a constant. Therefore, we are getting 2h into integration of x dm plus integration of R0 square dm. Integration of R0 square dm, it is nothing but IC. Therefore, we are getting here equation like this. IO is equal to H square into integration of dm plus 2h into integration of x dm plus IC. Okay. Then integration of dm is nothing but, this is the total mass of the body. Integration of dm is nothing but, this is the total mass of the body, and integration of x dm, this is equal to 0. Why this is equal to 0? Because all movements about, because sum of all movements about center of mass, sum of all movements about center of mass is always 0. Is always 0. Therefore, we are getting integration of x dm. X means, x it is the distance and dm it is the mass. This is on from the axis of rotation, which is passing through center of mass, and for the center of mass which is for the axis of rotation which is passing through center of mass, x it is the distance. Therefore, we are getting integration of x dm. It is the movement. Therefore, it is the movement. Therefore, we are getting sum of all movements about the center of mass, which is equal to 0. We already discussed this in 11th science. Therefore, we are getting here IO is equal to capital M into h square, because h square into integration of dm. Integration of dm is equal to capital M. Therefore, we are getting here mh square plus 2h into 0. Integration of x dm is equal to 0 plus IC. Therefore, we are getting here IO is equal to IC plus mh square. This whole term is equal to 0, because if you multiply any term by 0, then its multiplication is equal to 0. And this is the proof of parallel axis theorem, which is equal to IO is equal to IC plus mh square. Here we are saying IO, it is the axis of rotation which is passing through any point. It is equal to the sum of moment of inertia of axis of rotation passing through center of mass and product of mass, its mass and perpendicular distance between the two axes. Therefore, we are getting IO is equal to IC plus mh square. Why we are getting IO is greater than IC? Why we are getting IO is equal to why we are getting IO is greater than IC? Because at this center of mass, whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated, and which opposes the motion of a particle along this axis of rotation, along the axis of rotation IO. Because of that, we are getting IO is equal to IC plus mh square. Now, we are discussing one example of that. If we consider any object, we are considering here ring. This is the axis of rotation which is passing through center of mass. Its moment of inertia is given by IC. It is perpendicular to the plane, and we have to find out moment of inertia about the axis of rotation which is passing through any point O, whose moment of inertia is given by IO. The distance, this distance is equal to, this distance is equal to R, then CO is also equal to R, radius of that ring. We have to find out IO. These two axes are parallel to each other. Therefore, we are getting for this IO is equal to, using parallel axis theorem, IO is equal to IC plus mh square. IC plus mass of the ring. If we consider mass of the ring is given by capital M and this perpendicular distance is given by R, then we are getting mr square, where IC is nothing but IC is equal to mk square, where k it is the radius of gyration, where k is equal to R for this ring. We are considering this object is nothing but this is the ring, and for ring k is equal to R. Therefore, we are getting here IO is equal to mk square plus mr square, but k is equal to R. Therefore, we are getting here mr square plus mr square, and which is equal to 2mr square. In this way, we find out the moment. In this way, we find out the moment of inertia of any axis of rotation which is passing through point O. This axis is tangential to the surface and perpendicular to the plane.